For a series that has been planned down to the letter in almost every development, it's strange to see a game like this come out of the veritable Bungie, a spin-off set during the events of Halo 2, yet for some reason is subtitled under the 360 Classic? Okay, so the name's not exactly confidence building, but let's see what the intro has to say for itself. After the game's Star Wars-esque intro telling us that we're playing as the titular ODST troops in an effort to save New Mombasa from Covenant-style dooming, and that this is the most epic moment of the entire war because, well, I'm not sure, Halo 2 made it clear that the Earth invasion that this is set in was a complete accident by regret, so maybe the intro writer was embellishing because they were just a desk jockey. I would buy into the premise if the first scene in this game hadn't introduced us to a bunch of Battlefield 3 rip-off characters. Yep, the entire ODST team of like 5 dudes has that infinitely amusing trait of sarcasm all the time. The reason given for why everyone is an asshole is because the entire team has been replaced due to off-screen war excuse number 512. Hell, even our player character is literally sleeping in his ODST pod by the time Buck punches him upside the head. So apparently this crack team of super soldiers had finished training less than a week ago. Completely airtight excuse for everyone having the same character. Actually, I want you to remember this scene in detail, in its entirety, because the ODST team is launching into the most important mission in the war right after this. After Rookie had managed to be a soldier for less than a minute, the group's plan goes belly up when the slipspace jump from Halo 2 decides to fuck with the game and toss the ODST group in random directions right at the start of the mission. Yep, the game starts with us sleeping through the entire goddamn mission we were supposed to be doing. What a great place to start. Rookie is then dropped into the fucked New Mombasa with no idea of what happened and where his quote-unquote friends are, and this is where we're introduced to the objective in the game's hub world. Go around and complete a scavenger hunt to find your lost team members. It's a shame because this idea by itself wasn't above salvaging, but the frame used here falls on almost every front. It could have gone for a detective story set in science fiction, but because there's no grand mystery in this game's context, what you end up investigating is incredibly boring. The game could have gone horror, but the game's design doesn't fit into the genre even laughably due to the tone of the scavenger hunt segments, which for their credit are really well done with the pacing and musicality lending itself to feeling like you are alone in a big city with soft lounge music following your every move. And I want to thank Bungie for putting in the game's detective/eagle vision, because having the objective items outlined takes a lot of the bullshit away, especially when the thing you're supposed to be looking for is, oh, I don't know, a sniper rifle bent all to shit tied up on a telegraph wire 10 feet into the air? Seriously, what the fuck? This is worse than the investigative segments in Metroid Other M, for God's sakes. The actual game happening in this game is all done through flashbacks, where you play through segments of the perspective of the other ODST guys going around New Mombasa trying to complete the mission by going around and shooting a bunch of Covenant with no context. It makes the game horribly confusing. The first problem is that Rookie has absolutely no way that he could be experiencing these flashbacks, so they're only being done for the benefit of the audience. The second problem is that what the ODST group is doing in of itself is nonsense. See, remember that scene from earlier in this video? Nowhere in that whole establishing shot did Veronica or Buck tell the group what the mission they were going on was. So, the UNSC had sent their most elite soldiers into battle during one of the most vital campaigns of the war behind our lines, with absolutely no idea of what they were supposed to be doing. I know that everything got thrown to the wind the second they got on the scene, but for a game this goddamn short, there should be enough time to fill in the actual plot. Of course they eventually do, and I mean eventually, because Rookie ends up meeting with Veronica after all the flashbacks had brought him up to speed due to his contrived investigative skills. Seriously, how much information can you glean from a broken turret, part of a bomb, and half of a drone? This tells you what happened at these locations, but it doesn't tell you where they were going, which is kind of important when we're playing Follow the ODSTs. Veronica tells us that the mission that she was supposed to tell us when we were up in the ship beforehand was to capture the data from the city's AI in order to protect Earth from the Covenant. Yep, That intro where it was building up this grand conflict of the utmost importance, and all this time we were being sent in to do a cleanup job. Okay, fine, whatever. Let's do this! Actually, let's not do this, because all of that data we were supposed to get was eaten by a Covenant engineer. Wait, what? And for some reason, Veronica knows about these things and that they're basically biological computers, so obviously, this thing has the entire Covenant battle strategy hidden away in its brain, and we have to bring it back to base, because of course that's what happens. After a multiple stage escort quest, which was artfully done compared to the vast bevy of escort quests and never got beyond petty annoyance, thankfully, we do get the engineer home, and the game just ends with Buck and Veronica getting back together for a relationship that lasted less than 3 months. Before this, I had vague memories of ODST's boring stature, and replaying it, I realized why. Halo 3 ODST is Bungie's Ashcan project. Something slapped together with minimal writing, design, and made out of pieces of the Halo 3 engine to buy the developer some time between actual game releases. In its defense, the shooting gameplay does work, and the vehicle sections are fun as all hell, discounting the Banshee escort stuff because flying vehicles just never seem to hit that fun factor in all of video gaming. But really, the only justifiable reason for this game's existence is that Bungie included all of the Halo 3 DLC on the disc. It really shows the immense quality of your game, Bungie, that you had to bribe the audience in order to get people to actually play it. For a game that came out of an apparent necessity for a distraction, it only barely works because it doesn't have any energy and plot holes are all over this joint, stuffed with one-dimensional characters. Let's finish this sucker off with a scoreboard for this. A reminder that next week we'll be tackling Halo 3 proper, and a very sincere victory for gamers. Bye, viewers.